So we will just start seated today on either your meditation cushion or on your two blocks. If you have them, maybe they're going to angle, make a little seat. And we'll come to cross leg, our easy pose. If you like, you could also come to the shins, or you can sit on your bum with the legs extended. Before we come into the asanas of our practice, we'll start with some breath work. So breathing in through the nose, side out of the mouth. Breathing in through the nose. Exhale, let it out. One more time. As a collective, inhale. And exhale, side out. We'll bring both hands to our heart, having a moment of compassion for our body and leading with compassion on our mat today. That we will take rest when we need. We'll be mindful of our thoughts. And we'll be mindful of what is happening on that physical level. If there's anything that feels full of tension, anything that is tired, any spaces that need extra time to release, maybe it's even simply holding a pose or breathing a little deeper through a pose. And then I encourage you to take the same compassion off of your mat, off of your practice. What good is our yoga practice if it just ends here? Having that same compassion for your neighbor, compassion for those that are your chosen family, biological family, and your friends. And then using your own power of thought to send that compassion out, maybe visualizing it from the heart as this huge beam that lights up all of those spaces, all of those people and places that we just mentioned. We need that compassion. We need your kindness. And we need your love. We will move into Nadi Shodhana, bringing our peace fingers of the right hand to the middle of the forehead. Take the thumb to close the right nostril and inhale through the left side. Exhale through the left. Closing with the ring finger, and we'll switch. Inhale right side. Exhale right. Close and switch. Inhale left. Close the nostril, exhale right. Inhale right. Close, exhale left. Inhale left. Close, exhale right. Inhale right side. Close, exhale left. Inhale left. Close, exhale right. Inhale right side. Close, exhale left. Inhale left. Close, exhale right. Inhale right. Close, exhale left. Inhale left. Close, exhale right. Inhale right. Close, exhale left. Complete 2 more rounds on your own breath. Once you've completed both rounds, please just meet back with your palms face down, but please complete that. Don't rush because I've cued you to something else. And trust in your own breath, trust in your own pranayama. Sometimes when we're listening to our teacher, or even when I'm cueing Nadi Shodhana, we can get caught up in, okay, what did she say? Right, left, switch. But then we're not really allowing ourselves to fall into the rhythm, fall into the fluidity of that practice. So if that is part of your practice that you wish to take with you off your mat and use it throughout your day, please trust yourself. The traditional yoga used to be where you practice one-on-one. But you have those tools now. And that is a safe part of your practice that I hope you will take with you, and I hope that you will listen to your own guidance. So come back maybe to that space of compassion, back to the heart. All right, you can open the eyes if you're closing them with me. We're actually going to come back to our spine, or move to our spine. We didn't start there today. We're going to come to the low back. And if you have a yoga block, I want you to keep it handy. And we'll move the other one off to the mat or off to the side. We'll come to our spine with our feet planted. And we'll take our feet hip width distance. I'll move my block just so you can still see me, but you should be able to follow my voice here. Start to move through your pelvic tilts, just rocking the pelvis forward and back. But make sure to press through your big toe and your heel so that we're not flaring the toes and adding new stress to the lower back, or to the knees, I should say. And on these cooler days, in these winter months, we want to make sure that we're very safe with the lower back. It's our first place for some of us that holds stress. If we're doing new or seasonal, I should say, motions of shoveling or lifting, it can be that space that wants to tense up. So we need to be very gentle with it. So just these little pelvic tilts. I'm exaggerating mine a bit just for the camera. I'm actually starting to lift my sit bones off the mat just so you can see that motion. But you shouldn't have to lift off yet. You're just rocking, you're bringing the spine into the mat, and then rocking that pelvis forward to make space between the lumbar spine and the mat. And then once you have that motion down, now can you start to engage your pelvic floor? So feel as if you're drawing your pranayama, your breath up from the pubic bone to your crown. So squeezing as you lift at the top and then lowering down. Engaging everything, engaging the abdominal muscles as well. Now, if you have tighter hamstrings or hips, we'll be coming to our bridge. Don't lift all the way up, just a little lift. So we'll inhale, lift the sit bones, almost like a hand of space between the glutes and the mat. And then exhale, we'll lower down. Inhale, lift. Doesn't have to be about height. It's more about that intention and squeezing everything. And then lowering back down. We'll do one more together. Inhale, lift. And lower. And then go with that same rhythm and cadence. Noticing any spaces again that might be tuning in, that might be engaging a bit more to help you here. Still being really rooted through the feet. I know it feels good sometimes to lift the toes off. Really press through the toes. And then we'll lower the sit bones down. For those that have a yoga block, you're going to bring it between the thighs now, whatever way you can grip. I know with this kind of block, it's a little bit more narrow than I'm used to. So I might have to heel toe my feet in just slightly. So squeezing the block. If you don't have a yoga block, you're thinking of just squeezing those inner thighs. You're going to press and lift at the top and then lower. And if it's too much, remove the prop. You don't need to use it. You have your imagination. You can just think about holding that imaginary block instead. So that same motion. And then we will lift at the top, hold it there, squeezing. And then lowering back down, removing block to the side. Open the knees wide to butterfly pose, and then take your arms nice and tall overhead, nice and long. Flip the palms as you interlace. Maybe take a big yawn. Big morning stretch. And then bring your knees into your chest. Tuck your chin in towards your thighs, in towards your chin, and in towards your chest. I was gonna say, like, I've had my coffee, but that yawn just reminded me that maybe my body is tired. All right, lower your head and your shoulders down and roll to one side. We're just coming right back up. We'll slowly press up. And then from our upright, let's come right into our standing forward fold. Take your time though. Allow the belly to hang between the thighs. Allow the head to be nice and heavy. Dangle head down. Little tuck of your chin, round the upper back. And then slowly start to roll up. We'll inhale, reach your arms overhead. Exhale, hands to our heart. Let's have a beautiful practice. Surya Namaskar. Inhale, arms up. Lead with the heart. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen. Ardha Uttanasana. Try not to lock the knees. I know it feels good. Exhale, fold. Step yourself back, leading with the left leg. Into plank. Lower the knees. Find your modified chaturanga. Lower down. Baby cobra, squeeze the shoulder. And then press back to your down dog. Uttanasana, down dog. So find your foundation of your dog. We're going to hold for 5 breaths. Leading with your left leg, left foot steps to the top of your mat, then right. Inhale, lengthen, look forward. Exhale, forward fold. Root to rise will come all the way up to stand. Inhale, arms up. And exhale, hands on Doggy Mudra. Sorry, I'm gonna start A again. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lengthen. And exhale, fold. Lead with your right leg. Right foot steps back. And then your left. Modified flow. Lower the knees. Chaturanga. Baby cobra. Squeeze the shoulders. Hip bones are down. Pressing up. Down, up. 5 breaths of rest again. If your palms are slipping, step your feet closer. Try not to adjust the hands. Looking forward, lift your right leg and step it to the top of your mat and left. Inhale, lengthen. And exhale, fold. Reach your eyes and come all the way up to stand. Reverse one of the arms. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, arms up. Lead the heart forward. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen. And exhale. Left leg leads. Step it back to your planks. We're switching each time. If you want, from the knees or your toes this time, Chaturanga Dandasana. But sticking with baby cobra, lift your heart, squeeze the shoulder blades. Press back, down, up. We're playing with that 5 breaths of rest today, emptying everything out. Leading with your left leg, step to the top of your mat, or even to the middle of the mat, whatever's accessible. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Roll, stand. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, hands to heart. I wanted to go right to that quarter fold. We're getting there though. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen. And exhale, fold. Right leg leads, step it back. Finding your chaturanga from the knees or the toes, hugging those elbows in. One more baby cobra. Press back, down, up. Leading with that right leg, step it to the top of your mat or middle of the mat. Find forward fold. Inhale, lengthen. And exhale, fold. Root your eyes. Come on. Now you know what to expect. Inhale, arms up. We're going to go right to that forward fold. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale. Left foot steps back. Then your right. From the knees or the toes. Chaturanga. Lifting. Baby cobra. Or maybe you're ready for the full thing. Shoulders back and down. You ask your spine though. You know it best. Press back. Down. Try to soften your kneecaps here. So drop them down towards your ankles. Press your ankles to the earth. Lift your sit bones up to the sky. Soften the brow. Step the left foot forward. Then your right. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Root your eyes, come all the way up. Inhale, arms up, right back to that forward fold. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen. And exhale, lead with the right. Right foot steps back, then left. Chaturanga Dandasana. From your knees or your toes, lift up. Baby cobra or that full cobra, broaden the shoulder blades. Shoulders back and down. Press back, down dog. Leading with that right foot, step it forward. And your left. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Roll all the way up. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, right back to forward fold. We're changing up the flow. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Left foot steps back. Left knee lowers. Inhale, lifting to crescent. Modify crescent. Exhale, hands down. Step that foot back. From the knees, walk your hands a bit more forward, finding that modified plank. Chaturanga. Lifting up into your Cobra. And then lowering your chest down, we'll press up either to table or right up into our plank on a big exhale. Holding at the top for a moment. And then press back, down dog. So we'll lead with the left leg, left foot steps forward. Right knee lowers, lifting yourself up to that crescent. Exhale, hands, frame your foot, step up to the top of your mat, forward fold. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Root your eyes, roll up. Inhale, arms up. We will pause at the top. Exhale, our hands to heart. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. And exhale, fold. Leading with your right leg, right foot steps back. Right knee lowers. You're just on this side. We want to switch up what we lead with. Inhale, arms up. Chest lifted. Exhale, hands down. Bring the knees side by side. Walk the hands a bit more forward, shoulders back, chaturanga. Lifting up to your Cobra, shoulders back and down. Lower your chest. Are you pressing to table or you're pressing to your plank? Nice and strong through that core. Navel draws in. Press up, hold. Press back, down, down, down. All right, lift your right leg, step it forward, lower your back knee down. Inhale, lift to your modified lunge. Exhale, hands down. Step forward to the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, full Uttanasana. Roll all the way up. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen. And exhale, forward fold. Step back to your left leg. The knee's going to stay lifted this time. Bend into your knee to come to a full crescent. Inhale the arms overhead. Sink a little lower into your lunge. Exhale, hands to the earth. Step into your plank. Take your vinyasa, chaturanga. Lifting. Find your Cobra, or maybe you're ready for an up dog. And your choice how you want to press back to that down dog. You be through that plank, be right into your Ardha Uttanasana. Empty out the belly, big exhale out. Left foot steps forward. Right knee bends, lifting yourself up to crescent. Sinking into that lunge again. Nice. Exhale your hands to your hips. Step up to the top of your mat, mountain pose. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen. And exhale. Right foot steps back. We were just on the side. Bend into your knee. Lift yourself back up to crescent. Sink a little further. Hands this time can connect at prayer. Think of that pelvis pressing forward. You find more length to your back quad. Exhale, hands down. Step to plank. Find your vinyasa, chaturanga. Lifting. Cobra or up dog. Pressing back. Down dog. Big exhale at the end of your breath. Right foot steps forward. Bend into that knee. Lifting up to crescent. Exhale, hands to prayer. Hips press forward again, finding length in the back leg. Hands to your head, step up to the top of your mat, Salutation A. This time, actually take a full rest, close your eyes. Feel the connection of the three corners of your feet. Feel your knees stack a bit more on top of your ankles, so bend into your knees. Come back to your heart, have a moment of compassion for your body, compassion for that tapas that we just built, that fire. Let's breathe and soften here. Find some stillness and peace again in the body. Surya Namaskar B. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, sit into Uttanasana chair. For some of us, you might need heel toeing the feet. Pick up the navel, scoop it into the spine, and then pressing your hips forward to lengthen that lower back. I'm going to look forward to my big toes. Try to press my weight into my heels, maybe sit a little lower into my chair. Exhale to forward fold. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, fold. Left leg leads in our vinyasa. Step it back. Chaturanga. Lifting, finding your cobra or up dog as long as those shoulders are back and down. You're safe in the lower back. And then meet in down dog. Staying on that left side, left foot's going to step forward as we set up for warrior A. Back foot steps a little closer. It lands on that angle. Lift yourself up. Virabhadrasana A, arms extend. And my back hip presses forward. My toes are a little bit on a 45. So playing with those 5 breaths of rest again. Exhale your hands down. Stepping yourself back into your plank. Taking your vinyasa, chaturanga dandasana. Lifting to your upper toes. Glide back. Down, up. Let's float the right leg up. Step between our hands. Back foot steps closer. Setting up for warrior A on the other side. Front knee stays bent, back press forward, and finding any option of the arms. Maybe it's cactus, maybe arms are extended. Stay for one more breath. Exhale the hands down. Step back into your plank, taking your vinyasa. And then take Balasana, child's pose. Knees wide, the toes together, sit bones over your heels. Okay, we'll roll up to our tabletop, and however you wish to get there, either stepping to the center of your mat, and then a little tiptoe to the top of your mat works well. Inhale, raise up the spine, look forward. Exhale, fold. Come all the way up to stand. Inhale, arms up. And then exhale, hands to heart. Surya Namaskar B on the other side. So if you feel the need to heel toe your feet to set up for chair, do that now. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, sit into Uttanasana chair. Don't want the knees knocking in towards each other. Think of that yoga block we used in our bridge. Sit a little lower, hold for 2 more breaths. And then exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen. And exhale. Right leg is going to lead. Step it back to your plank. You can skip the vinyasa if you feel like you need a rest, or find your chaturanga. Lift into your Cobra up dog. And pressing back, down dog. So as we pause for a moment here in down dog, find more space in your shoulder blades. Roll them back and down. We'll lead with that right leg again. Right foot's gonna step forward. Back foot's gonna come on that ankle. Lifting up to warrior A. And this time we'll take goddess arms. So elbows are bent, palms press back. Active through your front knee. Pressing into the outer edge of your mat. See if you press through your back heel, do you get more space in the quad, space in the calf? And exhale, flow the hands down. Find your way back into plank. Hold your plank for a moment. We're not going to move through a flow. And then press back to down dog. We'll switch legs. Left foot steps forward. Right foot steps on an angle. Lifting up. Finding your foundation in the legs again. And then open up. Find your goddess arms. Think of all those little intentions again. Pressing through your toe, opening up the knee, pressing to your back heel. And then soften in the shoulders. Exhale the hands down. Stepping yourself right into your plank, holding your plank. Press back to down dog. We're going to come back to that left side. Lift your left leg up. Step it between your hands. You could use yoga blocks here to frame your foot, or keep the hands on the earth. We're going to lift the back leg off to a standing split. Pressing your back hip forward. So hands can stay on the earth for stability, or lift yourself a little taller for warrior C. As we step to the top of your mat, I want you to step that foot a little wider so you can land right back into your chair. Inhale, lift tall. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen. And exhale, forward fold. Surya Namaskar C. We're going to step yourself back into your plank. Chaturanga. Lifting. Find your Cobra, or join me now for an up dog, pressing through the tops of the feet, lifting the knees as long as it's safe for the spine. And then pressing back down. Pick up the right foot. Step it to the top of your mat. You're floating that back leg off, staying in standing splits with the hands down if you need. Or lifting a little taller, coming up to your warrior C. Flex that back foot, press the hip forward. We're going to step that foot wide, land right back into your chair pose, Uttanasana chair. Lift nice and tall. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lengthen. And exhale, fold. Bring your weight into your left leg. Pick up your right leg. Send it nice and long. Finding your way back into that standing splits again. Lifting taller into warrior seat. Hands to maybe your heart, or join me with arms extended to airplane. Navel comes to spine. We're going to step that foot wide. Find your chair again. Uttanasana chair. Lift nice and tall. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lengthen. And exhale, fold. Put your weight into your right leg. Lengthen your left. Square your hip. Stay in your standing splits if you like, or lift taller. Definitely feel like I'm going to take my head off this side. Rest of your back heel. Think about navel in again to protect the lower back like we did in our bridge. Step that foot to the top of your mat, nice and wide. Land in your chair. Keep the feet wide. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, sit right back into Uttanasana. Twist to the left. Left arm reaches back. Beautiful. Bring that arm to center. Right arm reaches back. Bring that arm back to center. Lift tall. Lift your heart. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lengthen. And exhale. Step back with your left foot. Land on that knee. Untuck the toes. And then bring your hands to the inside of your foot. You can always even use your blocks here. We're setting up for our lizard lunge. So heel toe that foot a little wider. Might even come off the mat. Doesn't have to. But we do want that stance nice and wide and press our back hip forward. Find some openness through the right hip as it wraps around to the lower back. So we are about halfway. This is a great opportunity to maybe come onto your blocks, come onto your forearms, as long as it doesn't compromise where our foot landed. If the knee starts to splay open, still hug that thigh to the back of your arm. We're going to stay on this right side. We're going to press back up, move our block if you were using it, heel toe your right foot to the center, and then we're going to lower that knee down for our half pigeon. So still on that right leg. And if you know that half pigeon's not part of your practice, you can flip to your spine and come to a figure four. You might want to pick up that back leg and heel toe it, lengthen that back leg, press that hip forward. And then land onto your forearms or onto your blocks. You are halfway. If you feel like you need to come down to forearms or a little closer to your mat, make any adjustments. We will bring our hands back under shoulders, tucking the toes at back leg, sweep your right leg back. Give it a little shake out. If you're on your spine for figure four, you can meet us back in tabletop. And we'll lower that foot down. We're going to set up the same wave just by coming into table so that we're not swinging that leg through. We'll step our left foot between our hands, and then we'll bring our hands to the inside of the foot, decide how wide we want to take that leg. So finding lizard on the other side, maybe bringing the hands to the block to start. Shoulders back and down. Breathe into that thigh. The belly's going to connect to the left thigh. Halfway if you need to come down to forearms or change anything up. If not, stay nice and tall where you're at. Slowly press up, moving your block, heel toe that foot back to center, and then allowing that knee to lower to the inside of our wrists for a half pigeon. Tucking the toes, maybe lifting that back knee up and then down, and then pressing your hip forward. Start tall in your pigeon pose. Now halfway again, if you want to readjust anything. Stay for 2 more breaths if you can. Pressing yourself up and back. Maybe shaking it out in that 3-legged dog. Or if you're in that reclined pigeon, making your way back to tabletop, maybe move through some cats and cows. And then we're going to come to our knees and sit back on our heels. Now, if you know that that's not supported, you can always place a blanket or a pillow on top of your ankles for seated. Palms can come face down. Close the eyes again. And into your own guidance for a short meditation. Meditation doesn't mean having to predict our thoughts, but instead allowing our thoughts to come in. And sometimes I would cue you to push those thoughts aside, but right now, allow them to come to the surface. Maybe it's coming back to our intention of compassion. As those thoughts come up, that there's anything that feels heavy, send that thought compassion, send it some kindness. And bring our hands up to our forehead, connecting our thumbs with Anahata chakra, thumbs to our mouth, connecting with our Vishuddha chakra, connecting to our heart with Anahata chakra, and then bringing both hands to our belly, connecting with Manipura, our solar plexus. If you were using any props to sit on, just move them aside, grab your yoga block again, and come to seated in the center of the mat. We will take our block up to the sky or coming back to samasanas. We'll think about that navel coming into our spine, and we'll slowly lower ourselves down using that core strength. Reaching the block overhead, getting nice and long through the front of the body. Keeping the legs at center, pick up your right leg, cross your ankle over, point your toes, and then press your right hip over to the long edge of your mat, so over to the right side of the mat. Feel some space to the side of the body. We'll soften the hips back down, uncross that ankle, and we'll switch. Left ankle crosses over. Cross your left hip over towards the long edge of your mat. So my sit bones are still on the mat, not lifting, just pressing through that hip. Finding space to the side of the body. And then releasing, and we'll take our feet into the mat. And then our feet are going to come together to butterfly or bound angle. If you're using that yoga block, I want you to lift it and bring it on top of your hips. So pubic bone, just rest that block there. Just a little bit lower than your navel. And then bring your hands to your heart, to your belly, wherever they can reach. Feel that little bit of weight. If you don't have a block, you could always just bring a blanket, fold it up. And then breathe into whatever prop that you're using. If you don't have one, that's okay. Just breathe nice and low into the belly. You can stay here for the remainder of Shavasana if you like, or if you prefer, you can take your legs long to the top of your mat, heel to each corner, soften into any expression of this pose that you need right now. To achieve a life full of happiness, we must lead with compassion. If you are still tuning into my guidance, I invite you to picture those individuals that you thought of at the beginning of practice and sending them that beam of light, that beam of kindness from your heart. Now picturing a person or maybe even a situation that you don't see eye to eye with, and sending that same space or person compassion and kindness. In our yoga practice, we have the yamas and the niyamas. These are our principles of this practice, and one of which is called santosha, which means practicing our acceptance and finding spaces that we can feel content. Sometimes we don't have that power to change or shift, but we do have the power to continue to lead with our own compassion. When you step off your mat today, lead from the heart. I'm not asking you to love everybody that you that crosses your path. But when our anger, our frustration, or those negative lens come to the surface, which is human, can we ask ourselves, how can I be more kind in the situation? And how can I share my compassion? Tuning back to the physical body, wiggling fingers and toes. Maybe a little massage with the back of the head, rocking it from side to side. Being gentle with our spine, roll to a favorite side, whether that means bringing the feet to the earth to help you make that transition. And slowly come up to seated, extending your top leg, using your hand to press you up. We will close our practice with an Om. We'll take an inhale and exhale out. An inhale. Om. Bowing our head down to our heart, having gratitude today for the movement and mobility of our body, gratitude for our extension of family and friends, and gratitude for our physical, mental, and emotional health. As I step off my mat today, connect my thumbs with my third eye for my inner knowing, for my kind thoughts throughout my day, connecting with my mouth for my kind words, connecting with my heart for compassion. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being part of this space. I hope you have a great rest of your day, whatever you get up to. Namaste.